My third tip is to plant things very densely and more informally, kind of keeping up with this aesthetic theme, but also there are other benefits to doing this. So what I've done here, if we just take a look at this section here of the vegetable garden, that's out there in the really nice full sun. Often, usually the way this is going to be done is something like this, which I've drawn in here. I'll zoom in here. So you can see we have straight rows of, maybe our beans and our greens and cabbage and kale and carrots and things like that. Nice straight rows. People sometimes will have they'll have a path going down between every row so they can get right up to the plants, which is usually going to be a waste of space in my opinion. But sometimes, often all the plants will grow perfectly nice together if you space them properly. Now this is fine to plant things like this. It's the traditional way of doing it. It kind of is reminiscent of how a farm works in a field. You have the nice rows so you can drive down them, and that's fine. But what I like to do is something a little different. So if I remove this, here's what I've done next. Is I've planted more densely and much more informally. So I've taken all those same plants, the same number, and I've just put them in there together very randomly. And first of all, I can get things more closely together if I plan cleverly, so I can get a lot more out of a space. Now, plants won't necessarily get as big or produce as much on their own, but overall, for this square footage, I can get more product, more food coming out of there. There are other benefits, though. We have plants, if we do this intelligently, we can plant things so some taller plants provide a little bit of afternoon shade for some smaller plants. Things like corn can act as a trellis for beans, or grass can act as a trellis for vetch if we're doing more of a cover crop. The soil is going to stay covered a lot better. It'll be moister. Weeds will be controlled. Plant predators will be controlled better because there's just so much diversity going on in here that there's just not any one pest is going to will get a hold of something as well, because you just have so much diversity going on. Of course, incorporated in here, it won't be just vegetables. I'd like to put some flowers in there that attract certain beneficial insects and that maybe deter some other insects, things like that. So I like to plant things densely and informally like that too. If you want to go a little more formal, which is just fine, I've done another one here. You can see I'm a bit of a computer geek. I've done one here, and I do a lot of my drawing on paper too for when I'm designing, but this was just easier to show you. So here I've taken the exact same plants, but I've grouped them more like you might find in nature. And so kind of group things in clusters like you were going to do if you were designing a garden, and that looks really nice, but it provides a little bit more of a natural looking system and more density, and you can get a lot more plants in there than if you're just planting in rows. So lots of benefits to doing that. So there are my 3 tips. The first one is try to go for, or consider going for more of an informal, nice, curvy, organic garden that really fits in with your existing gardens instead of sitting out there on its own as a perfect rectangle. Next one is bring it closer to the house, right near the kitchen door if possible. Bring your compost pile close there too. Have your rainwater barrel right there too. Think about all that kind of ecological design stuff where everything is right close nearby. And then the third one here is this plant densely, plant informally, get a bunch of stuff in there. As soon as I harvest something during the summer, I'm going to be seeding something or planting something else in there, which is why I like to have the compost bin nearby. So that always keeps that nice, dense, informal planting going on. So I hope those organic vegetable garden design tips have been helpful for you. If you haven't picked up the 15 vital organic gardening lessons for becoming a better organic gardener, you can do that at smilinggardener.com, right there on the main page. And I hope that's been helpful to you. I'll see you next week.